This session? Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Imran Choudhry, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all, the exciting first meeting after Charter of Quantum Leaps Advanced Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 3 ground rules which we follow in our Toastmasters meetings. As Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics, so please refrain from discussing these topics. Please put yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. So as everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, all Toastmasters Club has a mission. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutual, supportive, and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce this meeting as open and hand over the stage to Club President, TTM staff.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran Choudhry, and I welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special day. This is the first baby step toward reaching on the mountain. So we are very much fortunate that in very short span of the time, this quantum leap getting chartered, and I'm proudly say there's all efforts and contributions and the pain taken by the mother of this club. And do you know who is the mother of this club? Is Talha bin Hamid. He conceived the idea, he worked on it, and today we are having a club in very much with the professional, dedicated, and committed members. Today is a special day. Today we are making the history. Today we are officially conducting our first Toastmaster meeting after official charter. Our chartering date is 15th of November, and today this is our chartering first meeting of Quantum Leap Toastmaster Club. We have 21 members officially in this club, and we have guests around the globe, just like Cynthia and Rebecca, and sometime we have seen other faces. So there is very much required that we must have to involve our international president and see what she is giving the message to the quantum leap. Can you share, Toastmaster Talha?
Yes, just a second.
Give me the screen sharing.
Okay. Just a second, sir. Yes, you can share screen now, sir.
Hello, my name is Margaret Page, and I am Toastmasters International President, sending a message of congratulations from Vancouver, Canada.
Thank you very much, Madam. Oh, wonderful, the congratulation message from our international president. And now may I request Toastmaster Cynthia, DTM Cynthia, to please take over and do the oath ceremony for the members and after the installations of club officers. Over to you, DTM Cynthia.
Great. And do we have a list of all the members, the charter members? Talha?
Yeah, I can provide you with that. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll share it with you.
Okay, great. Or can you share the screen maybe?
Okay, sure. Let me do that.
Fabulous.
So,
All our members here tonight?
okay, let's see.
Okay, we've got 19 people on
1, 2,
there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7,
And there are 20 new members?
9. Yeah, there are 21 members, out of which 9 are present. I can share the list.
Okay.
Let me
We'll
open
just
the
list
list.
all their names and see if there's any objection.
Right.
And I hope they don't murder the names too badly.
Oh, you are a pro. You're a pro at it. You won't.
A
So
pro at murdering names? Yes.
no, you're pro at stating names correctly.
I hope so.
Just a second.
That's why I
I'm
chose
just
to go.
open.
That's why I chose to go with my husband's name, because it's much more hard to murder it. You only murder it a couple different ways. Awesome.
Okay, so these are the members. I can scroll. I can scroll as you.
As I read, okay. Abdul Sabhan, Abdul Feta Anaya, Erum Rizvi, JKAJ, Imran Mahmood, and Imran Rana, and Rahim, not Rahim, it's Karim, Haider Ali, Kuram Syed Kushti, Malik Umar Hussan, Mubina Abdul Subhan, Muhammad Shakruk, Mohammed Fasel, Rebecca Seymour, Saad Shob, Saif Ali Sheikh, Sarah Khan, Sadushan Seshadri, Syed Shah, and Tala bin Hamid. Usama Ali. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that everybody? Okay, and if there are there any objections to these members becoming a member?
Actually, there are no objections. I'd just like to point out that we have another charter member, and you might be familiar with her, CGT Swarna Kalyan.
Yes.
Yeah, but there was a problem with the credit card number. So
Yeah.
I have confirmed that once they sort it out, she'll also be a charter member. So you just
Okay,
want
great.
to, yeah.
Varna
So
Kalyan.
yeah.
Great. Awesome. Okay, let me read a little something from the internet here. Okay. Members in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards, yet also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development, evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, and assist the club in reaching its goals, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. And sometimes that's difficult and sometimes that's easy. Okay, great. And I'm going to read the Toastmasters promise. And then if you all say, I will, all the new members say, I will, chartering members. Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend meetings regularly, to prepare all my speech and leadership products to the best of my ability, basing them on projects in the in the Pathways Educational Program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve as my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits of Toastmaster membership's offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to maintain honest and highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. And if you agree, say, I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Yes, I agree.
Great. Excellent, excellent. And are we?
Congratulations to all.
Yes. Big round of applause. Woo! Woo! And as I like to say, once a charter member, always a charter member. It's a very, very high honor and specific award that's been done. So great. Congratulations. I have one more chat to read. Okay, great. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to the installation of officers. And do you have the officers and their
Yes,
office?
I just shared it with you on your WhatsApp, DTM Cynthia.
Ooh, okay. Well, I can't be in two places at once.
Okay.
Would you share it in
Okay, I'll share it in
toggle back.
Zoom chat. Is that okay?
It also
Actually,
is the
that's
part of
okay.
agenda. It is
I'm
part
sorry?
of agenda. If you have the agenda, it is already there, the names.
Okay, I'll look on the agenda. Okay, but I still have to toggle between two different things. Okay. Okay, great. So I am okay. And so we have I guess we'll go in reverse order with the Sergeant of Arms. Is Imran Choudhry. And let's see. Okay.
Kindly turn on your videos, all please requested. Turn on your videos, please.
I can't because I'm on my phone and I have to read from my WhatsApp and my other. So it's impossible.
I'm displaying the names. DTM Cynthia, I'm displaying the names.
Okay, but I still have to toggle, so I won't be
Yeah.
appearing in video.
No
So,
worries.
okay, I am here to install the new officers of the Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club, and I will briefly state their key responsibilities and remind them of challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge to make this club one of the best in Toastmasters International. This will involve helping the members achieve their goals as well as leading the club to President's Distinguished status this coming year. I hope so. Okay, will the new officer team, okay, step forward. Each officer is obligated to attend monthly club executive committee meetings, attend club officer training held twice a year, and prepare a successor for his or her respective office. I will now describe the challenges and key responsibilities for each officer, beginning with the Sergeant at Arms. Okay, and the Sergeant at Arms, let me read their name, is Imran Choudhry. And will you perform these duties? Okay, Rizvi. The duties of the Sergeant of Arms are to arrange the meeting location or Zoom meeting, maintain club equipment in working order, ensure the adequate club supplies are available, set up the room before the meeting begins, make relevant educational and PR materials displayed, attend to special equipment needs, and greet guests. Help the president make sure the meeting begins on time. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability? Imran.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, great. Okay, and next we're going to talk to the treasurer, if the treasurer is aboard. And that is, oops, where's your treasurer? Oh, BPE and treasurer is Tala bin Hamid. Okay, Tala, you get BPE and treasurer. So let's read those. Okay, Tala bin Hamid, as treasurer, you will keep financial records and prepare the club budget, announce when it's time for members to pay dues, explain the dues structure to members, collect dues, work with the secretary to ensure the club submits dues promptly and on time to Toastmasters International World Headquarters. Tala bin Hamid, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and read the VP of Education for you. Tala bin Hamid, will you perform? Okay, your duties are to lead the club membership building efforts to achieve the membership goal of 8 new members, while the VP of PR motivates people to visit your club. You will motivate the current members to invite guests. Promptly give new member applications and dues to the secretary and treasurer. Personally greet guests and provide them with guest packets, including a membership. Oh, this is membership. Sorry.
No worries.
VP of Education. I'm sorry. Okay, gain commitments from members to set educational goals for themselves, assure that members are aware of the schedule of meeting roles, plan meetings that will assist members in meeting their goals, work with members to keep meetings fun and well run, work with your members to ensure that they submit their applications for educational awards promptly, provide for educational topics at club meetings such as those from the successful club series, Better Speaker series, represent your club at area council meetings as the second highest ranking officer, preside over the meeting when the president is absent. Talabun Haman, will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, great. And moving on to the
Simply DTM Cynthia, the three other officers are not present in the meeting at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can perhaps, yeah.
Okay. So then I now install these amazing officers.
Still remaining one remaining president is still there in front of you.
Oh, oh, so sorry. So sorry.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry. My
As the
mistake.
president.
Yeah.
The president, you know your duties well, but let me reiterate them there. So just a second. Oh, where did my, hey. As president, Saif Ali Sheikh, you will, you are the chief executive officer. Thus, you preside at the club meetings and all the meetings of the club executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club adds new members and meets the needs of its current members to achieve their communication and leadership goals. Establish a club climate that is supportive, stimulating, and rewarding to its members. Realize that among the resources available to you are fellow club members, officer team, officer's handbook, area director, division director, the website, the district website, all other district officers. Do you, you hold this virtual gavel as a symbol of your power and authority that your club has given you during your term of office. I'm confident that you will use it wisely and with restraint. As a member of the Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club, as well as its leaders, you will work with your executive team and club members to make Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club a President's Distinguished Club this year.
Inshallah.
Great. In Quantum Leap, oh, there's some background noise there. Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club members, please virtually stand. Your officer team has just been pledged to serve the club to the best of its ability, to be the best Toastmasters Club possible, and to meet the needs of all its members. Your club will need active participation from each member. Do you, the members, pledge to work together with your officer team to make Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club the finest Toastmasters Club it can possibly be? And please say, I will.
We will.
I will.
I will.
Great. By the authority vested in me, oh, not as your area director, but as your advisor, it is my sincere pleasure to declare these Toastmasters officer installations installed in their respective club offices. Please join me extending a warm welcome to the Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club executive team for this Toastmasters year. Woohoo! Awesome. And oh, we didn't do a pledge to our members, but since all members are charter members, we probably don't need to do that. You're going to support each other, I know. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, DTM Cynthia. It's a wonderful installation of the members and the club officer. At the same time, I'm taking the privilege to give at this time the virtual pin for each officer, and you are going to receive by mail. And it is no financial liability of Quantum Leap. This is from the president.
We are sincerely grateful, sir.
So let's move to the next item. May I request our CGD, if he is here?
No, sir. They're not here.
And
Not yet.
PQD?
Any? No,
PQD?
he's not here as well.
So may
He's
I
not here
request
as
our,
well.
may I request our district directors to please address the audience. Please put your hand together, welcoming our district director, Toastmaster Tala bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And all I have right now for everyone in the audience is gratitude. Gratitude for each and every one of you, especially for DTM Cynthia Stott, because she has been the guiding light and she is the official designated club advisor / guiding / resident sage. She agreed to that role, and she is the effort that she made with establishing leaders worldwide has been a model for me. So in a small way, I've tried to emulate that here. I couldn't be more grateful for everyone to agree, since they agreed to become a part of such a specialized and niche club. Initially, I had quite a few misgivings, but then I found out that there are so many people like me around the world, so who are geeky and nerdy and proud of it. So all I have is gratitude and sincere appreciation for everyone to be part of it. This initiative started, the first baby steps were taken in July, and today we are chartered. In the current climate, and of course, due to the nature of the club, it being an advanced club, it is nothing short of miraculous that we have chartered. And it has all been possible due to your active participation. This is our 4th meeting overall, but the first post-charter meeting. And much more than myself, I believe that all of you will agree that those are some of the best Toastmasters meetings that we've had. And that is all once again because of each and every one of you who chose to participate, and to participate with such dedication and sincerity. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. District Directors. Let's move, if any president of the club. Toastmaster Ali Amjad, you are the president of Ravi Toastmaster. Please address the audience for 30 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you very much for providing this vital opportunity. I am happy to be a part of this first charter meeting of the club. And I wish all the members very good luck. The purpose of this advanced club is so close to my heart because I've been into science. I am a chemical engineer and an environmental engineer now doing masters. I've been teaching science for past 15 years now. So that's my passion, and I wish all of the members of the club very good luck, and wish this club
Thank you very much. You're not audible. Unmute yourself first. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay, were you able to hear what I said before?
Oh, yes, we are.
Okay. Maybe there was a call in between. So thank you very much for providing me this opportunity, and I wish all the club members and this great club a great success in the days to come.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster DTM Ali Amjad. May I request Erum Rizvi, you are the area director, I believe. Unmute yourself, Erum.
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning.
I'm the area director for Area 1 in Territorial Council 122 and also a member in District 105. This is my very first attempt to be here in this club today. I'm very proud to see my name in the chartered list. This club has a very great energy. It looks like something that we are all very scared of, that, if we are geeky, if we are ingenious, because I'm an engineer myself, that, people don't like us much. And, but then now we have a platform where we could be geeky, we could be silly, we could talk about things that doesn't matter. We can talk about things that could be normal, that could be very scientific, and we know we would be heard. So that's one of the best things. So thank you so much for coming up with that idea, DTM Talha, and thank you to everyone who has made this day possible. So wishing this club all the best.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Erum Rizvi. Any other president of the club or area director is here? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the education sessions, and we'll give the introduction to the guest at the end of the meeting. So we have among us a powerful young lady. He's not satisfied with one club because of his energy. So she is a member of 3 clubs. By profession, she is project manager. Please put your hand together. Welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saira Parvez Khan. Over to Saira Parvez Khan, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster. And today we have all witnessed an amazing oath ceremony, and it is a pleasure and honor for all of us to be part of this first chartered meeting of the Quantum Toastmasters Club. Welcome everyone, and I hope we leave every meeting a little wiser and with a little more passion to be a better contributor to the society around us. Now, how many of you have read the theme of the meeting in the agenda last night? Okay, so distinguished Toastmaster Saif, what do you think would be the power of 3 pounds? What comes to your mind?
Say it again, please.
What comes to your mind when you read the theme of the meeting, the power of 3 pounds?
See, it's there are 3 is there, I understand. But I always like the cake of 3 pounds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very good judgment. Okay, great. So while a cake of 3 pounds would have been more delicious.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
While that have been more delicious today, the 3 pounds that I'm going to refer to is the average size of an average human. So what is the power of a human mind? Throughout the meeting, we are going to discuss several proofs which are going to prove that the prowess and power of this human mind is just immense. Recently, since the COP26 and the climate change is across the globe and that news is there on every channel. So I would like to begin with a few examples relevant to that. We have seen this concept of cloud seeding, which enables the human to create artificial rain. And this is being applied by various countries across the globe, including Pakistan. I have read that we are also going to try it. Same goes for the idea of an artificial sun. I have read that China is working on the concept of an artificial sun, which will replace the street lights of many of their cities at one time. That sun will be able to keep the cities bright. Also, with this natural sun, human mind has been able to create ways to harness electricity out of this natural sun. So this has been an amazing, amazing achievement of this little mass of 3 pounds, which has been bestowed on us by the God Almighty. So During the meeting, we'll keep on discussing further things as well on this topic. Now, I can introduce you to the 5 major segments of this meeting. We always begin with the Geek of the Week, who would educate us about something very geeky, very scientific, which is close to everybody's heart, as DTM Ali Amjad was just saying. This will be followed by a scientific keynote, which is going to be the second segment. Then we would have 2 prepared speeches, which is the third segment. It will be followed by table topics, and finally, there will be a general evaluation. The meeting is also going to be assisted by some key role players. The first one is a language evaluator, and language evaluator is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Saif Ali Sheikh.
Thank you very much, TMOD Saira. The word I have chosen today is perseverance. The quality that allows someone to continue trying to do something even though it is difficult. Like perseverance is required to perfect just about any skill. Continuing effort to do or achieve something, even when this is difficult or takes a long time. Like example is over and over, they have shown perseverance in the face of adversity. I think the reason I won a gold medal was sheer perseverance, not because I was more talented than anybody else. Just like these examples of the perseverance, and I request all the speakers and table topic speakers to use as much as you can the word of the day, perseverance. Over to Toastmaster Saira.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Saif Ali Sheikh. The other important role is that of timekeeping, and the timer for the day is Toastmaster Faisal Murad. Toastmaster Faisal Murad, would you like to please introduce your role?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. As all of you know that time is an illusion, and the flow of time is just a perspective of what is going on. So I will try perseverance for taking record of the time in perspective of this meeting, and I will be using the Toastmaster app for showing the green, yellow, and red cards based on the time required for that speech. And in the end of the meeting, I will give my report when required. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faisal. And now the last role that will help us in the smooth running of the meeting is the R counter. And our counter today is distinguished Toastmaster G.K. Ajay. Distinguished Toastmaster G.K. Ajay, are you with us?
Yes, I am here. Are you able to hear me, Saira?
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning, everyone. Today I take the role of R counter, and my role is to observe all the speakers and make a note of the filler words they used. And I will be giving my report towards the end of the meeting. And my role will help the speakers to decrease the filler words such as you know, like, long pauses and short pauses. So in order to make their speech like a flow of water, so my report will help them. And in the next meeting, they can reduce the filler words they used. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Saira.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ajay. Now, since this is the first chartered meeting, we would like to comply by the time as well. And without further ado, I would like to call upon the Geek of the Week, Toastmaster Erum Rizvi. She is an AI enthusiast, and I'm very happy to know that she applies the technology as well in her day-to-day life. So she is very apt for this role. Let's welcome Toastmaster Erum Rizvi, Geek of the Week. Geek of the Week, Toastmaster Erum Rizvi.
Thank you very much, TMOD. And it is such a pleasure to be here today. Please give me a thumbs up if you could see my screen. All right. So my topic today, when I asked DTM Talha that what exactly it is, it sounds very geeky and all that. So he said anything that can inspire, anything that could be a bit scientific, something that can actually make you think. And to be honest, I did not want it to bring a topic which could be very quantum, and but it could be something that could relate to every one of us who's here and who even wants to be a geek. So might be people that were not there, but they inspire to be one. So what made me think around that was that anything that we could achieve is by being together. But there's so many times that I would just want to leave my house. I would want to leave my job. And at times I would say I'm going to the other planet. If there could be a spaceship leaving today and I'm in that mood, I'm stepping on that number one and taking the front seat and not even looking out of the window. So how many of us actually at times feel like that? We all do. We all do. And there are times when we are down, there are times when we want to be left alone. And that is a major part of a geek. So I'm going to recommend you a movie which you might have seen, which is of 2016. But I would want you to see it again and now see it from the perspective of how much we all are tired of our current situations. We get through those moods. Sometimes those low times, they stay for weeks and months and years when we look back. But then in the end of the day, we find the completeness by being among our tribe, by being among the people that we love, the people whom we care for. So my movie recommendation to you is Passengers. Passengers is a big example. And there are two characters in this movie. The actors are, of course, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. But the two characters are there, in which the major one is Jim, who are hibernating for somewhere around 120 years, and whose pod opens up by mistake by a malfunction. And he is out just after 30 years. So he has slept only for 30 years and there are 90 years to go. And this guy has to stay on that ship alone because everybody's hibernating. This movie is a beautiful example because he got on that ship for his reasons that he wants to leave the earth. And everybody on that ship is for that reason, that, we want to go to another planet. We are going to build up a colony. We are going to have a much beautiful life. When someone does that, leaving their family and friends behind, there could be two things. They could be of a defense army mindset, to be a patriotic, to do something different, or they really want to leave. They want to have a fresh start in the life itself, which many of us don't get. So this character does that. He leaves the earth, he's ready to go. And then because he's alone on the ship, we could see the pain of a human being, because this is not how we are made. This is not how our DNA is, to live alone. And how desperate he gets just to hug a body, just to speak to someone, just to have a conversation, just to watch another human being speak. And that is the time when we get in our lives when we're alone, that if we are missing our parents, if we have lost someone, if we have missed a good friend, or someone who has left the world who was close to us, that you would just want that one touch, that one voice, that one repetition of just holding them once. This movie actually gives you that feel. And I would recommend you all to watch it again, sit with your family to understand what togetherness is. So it's a beautiful movie of Aurora and Jim. And it actually carries some facts around it, that it carries 5,000 passengers, out of which 258 are the crew members, and they're gone for a duration of 120 years. The spaceship is called Spaceship Avalon. And why I got interested was, I work currently for Schneider Electric. And when I got into that scientific thought of how the power surge happened and what caused the reactor to lose a bit of a malfunction, and that's how his pod opened up. and a couple of more things happened. So I'm not going to tell you where Aurora came from, what happened, because I want you to watch the movie if you haven't. So I'm not breaking all those things for you, just giving you a backup. Now, the real life facts of this movie, which you would be interested in, is that NASA has approved a project for John Bradford, where his team is actually working on the hibernation pods, but they are testing somewhere between 6 to 12 months. And this is actually done for the trip to the Mars. So this is happening. The hibernation pods are happening, which means I can go to sleep and stay young. That's my interest. So that's not going to make me grow old. So if anybody wants to join that ship with me and get into this experiment, do give me a shout. So please watch the movie, give me a small feedback if you like it, and if it makes a difference, I have done my role for the week then. Over to you, dear TMOD, being Geek of the Week.
Thank you, Toastmaster Erum Rizvi. That was just so exciting. And it sort of endorses that fact again, that this human mind, it is so creative and it can do so much. It's just about creative thinking. It's just about problem solving. And these are the words that we are now hearing a lot. Problem solving is important. The skills of creative thinking, these are important. When it comes to the development of a product or construction of a project, those kind of activities can be supported and facilitated by several tools. But the generation of an idea, that creative thinking, that problem solving skill is something which is a sole product of this human mind. That can only be accelerated with more knowledge, more observation, and more exploration of the world. Our next segment is the scientific keynote, and the person who is going to deliver the keynote is distinguished Toastmaster Ali Amjad. He is also an apt example of somebody who I would expect to be a problem solver because of his interests. He is not a person who would stick to the screen all the time. His interests and hobbies include sports, gardening, and all of the outdoor activities which are necessary to nourish the mind. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Ali Amjad for the scientific keynote. Distinguished Toastmaster Ali Amjad.
Thank you. Thank you very much, TMOD. There is a famous quotation: a man should go too far to see how far one can go. That's about exploring your limits and not putting your limits under your mind. Let the world and nature decide what your limits are. Or if I would say, don't put any limit to what you can achieve. That would do. The universe is so vast, we cannot even apprehend. Take the example of the roof or ceiling of your room and just put one small dot on it. The dot represents the galaxy we are in. This is to put things in perspective. Now again, think of your own ceiling as our galaxy in which we are, and put one dot, and that dot represents our solar system. Going forward, put another dot on that same ceiling, the ceiling representing our solar system, and that one dot could be our Earth. To close this geeky conversation, I would say put another dot, and that may be the size of one human being on this vast earth. So if we consider all these scales, we come to a conclusion that we are nothing. We are nothing, but we are the epicenter of creation of this all universe. But look at the scales, how insignificant we are. For life to exist in this universe, on this very teeny small planet called Earth, there are prerequisites. And one of the key prerequisite is temperature. Now, how on Earth the right set of temperature, the right range of temperature could exist, which is totally non-existent in vast stretch of the entire universe? That's no less than a miracle. But there is science behind it. And let's ponder on what the science is. The life exists here because of our diamond, and that diamond is the greenhouse gas we call carbon dioxide. So what happens is that our solar system and our sun, which is the 1.5 kilometer diameter ball of fire, the plasma, where multitude and huge nuclear fusion reactions are taking place, that sun and energy radiates and reaches to all different planets in the solar system. What's unique about Earth, that we have the greenhouse gases here, namely carbon dioxide, and the sun rays, when they reach Earth, in about 8 minutes time, they penetrate the Earth's surface, and all day long these rays are absorbed. But once they radiate back, the greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, they absorb these radiations and help keep the temperature within the possible range for the life to exist. That's the crux of whole discussion. So for life to thrive, grow and sustain, the critical and the most pivotal factor is the greenhouse gases. One cannot deny the importance of water, oxygen, nitrogen, and the different hydrological cycles that exist on this planet. But the backbone is the greenhouse gases. Now, since the dawn of human history on this planet, man has been living in symbiotic relationship with Earth. The balance has always been there. So you must wonder, what went wrong? So it all started with the pre-industrial era, when the so-called intelligent man started exploiting the natural resources. And one of them is the fossil fuels. So the so-called progress started happening. But who knew it is a progress towards self-destruction, not towards the betterment of mankind. And today, the global scientists have realized, and they have been warning for past 30, 40 years, that the pivotal factor that we need to curb and control is none other than our greenhouse gases, abbreviated as GHG emissions. Let's unlock what's in it for the greenhouse gases and how they are the most contributing factor. The safe range for greenhouse gas, which is carbon dioxide primarily, is 350 parts per million. And from the dawn of human history till the 1900s, that's a vast period of time. The balance remained there, and it remained in the closest range to 350 ppm parts per million in the air. So the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air was just optimum. What happens if it drops below? If it drops below this limit, the temperatures will go towards the colder side and the earth would become uninhabitable. What happens if it goes beyond? Like currently the levels are exceeding 500 ppm. So what is the crisis? The crisis is that the greenhouse gas emissions has risen tremendously, and that's leading towards the global crisis that we call the climate change. Recently, a climate conference, COP26, has held, and the global world leaders, they committed that we will go net zero. Net zero means we will not be emitting the carbon dioxide so that it becomes destructive. What's happening around the world in businesses and in countries that we have started exploiting natural resources such as coal, carbon dioxide from the furnace oil, from the petroleum sector, and we are heavily dependent on fossil fuel industry. So it is inevitable to emit those emissions, and we cannot control it unless we shift towards a clean economy. The clean economy is that of renewable energy. But what's the big deal in doing it? Yes, the big deal is that there is trillion dollar of investment that has been made in this carbon dependent economy in the past 70-80 years in the form of different power plants, different automobile industry, and different industry that is absolutely dependent on these fossil fuels. So transition towards a clean economy is not a small game. And here comes the finance, the business in place. And the title of my keynote, Business as Usual, is the recipe of disaster. So business as usual, if we keep on going like this, the Earth's temperature are bound to increase. Average temperature of the Earth is bound to increase by 3 degrees. So there is a famous book I urge all of you to go and read. It is titled 6 Degrees Can Change the World. 6 degrees can change the world. So what's happening? The average temperature of Earth has risen by about 1.5 degree in the past 1 century. And that was the main objective of the Paris Climate Agreement 3 years ago, where they set the limit that we have to keep the temperature within 1.5 degrees centigrade in the next 30 years period, if we are to sustain the humankind on this earth, and we are to avoid natural and man-induced disasters such as forest fires, rising sea levels from the rising temperatures, and our glaciers are melting. So the global leaders need to think quick, and they need to commit to this transition. And commit, not just commit, they have to act fast. And by fast, I mean 5 year, 3 year, 5 years, 7 year period, not 30 year, 50 years, because we do not have that many years. this particular year that we are in, we have seen all sorts of human-induced disasters in the world. The forest fires in Canada and Australia, the rising sea level is there, the droughts are there, the entire climate pattern has changed tremendously. And what's stopping us from acting in the right direction is the global business leaders, the global leaders whose money is at stake. They don't want to transition. So my friends, it is imperative for the survival of our mankind on this planet, because we don't have a planet B, that we act very fast. We act, and it's an emergency. The world has demonstrated that they can act, because we all have coped up with this crisis we called COVID-19. So there is a dire need for a global action. The Global Action Forum was held in this month, COP26. But we need something beyond that. We need a global agreement where the polluters, the greenhouse gas emitters, the biggest economies in the world, who are the major polluters, like China, like Germany, like India, and USA, they are the biggest contributors. They have to act fast, and we need a global system where we can penalize those who are not acting in the right direction, because it is a matter of the entire universe, entire earth, and the countries who have very minimal impact on these greenhouse gas emissions are the worst affected one. No wonder Pakistan is among the top 10 amongst those countries who are hit by this climate disaster. Yet our contribution to the global greenhouse gas emissions is less than 1%. So our contribution is very little, and we are the most affected one, because once the global environmental patterns are changing, we can't control it. So the business as usual is not going to help us. We need a drastic change, and the climate change is real. It's going to affect us. No matter what we do, we have to act, and act on serious emergency basis. Over to TMOD for the Q&A session.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ali Amjad, for enlightening us and reminding us that business as usual would not work, and we have to work on out-of-the-box solutions. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, distinguished Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, DTM Ali Amjad, for that enlightening keynote. And it should be a wake-up call for all of us. Can you highlight some small things, one or two small things that we can do at our domestic level to actually help somewhat in this situation?
Yes, thank you very much. Why not? I mean, every individual has a small contribution. So we were talking about the scale at the scale of country, but what we can do as an individual: drive less, drive the fuel or the vehicles that are dependent on carbon. Walk more; it's good for your health. Eat a diet that yields that has a lower greenhouse gas impact, such as vegetable, and depend less on the meats. So these are the things that can contribute directly. If we talk about the textile, people are so much addicted to fast fashion. So the more you are dependent on fast fashion, the more is your impact. So there are online tools available which are very easy, or there are small apps. If you put your daily routines there, they let you know how green you are, and it's just 1 to 2 minutes of input. So you can easily find on Play Store or on Apple Store. You can find those apps and start calculating your carbon footprint. So and then they can also give you suggestions on how to reduce your carbon footprint. I give you my example. I walk whenever it is possible. I play games. I spend most of my time in the ground whenever it is possible. And that's how we demonstrate. So don't think that what government will do and the government should do that. At least first you demonstrate. And I plant a lot of trees. I have planted like 10 to 12 urban forests in Lahore. And those forests are the carbon sequestration agents. So they help reduce the carbon dioxide. So any further question?
Okay. I think we all agree with your message. Couldn't agree more. And I would just like to ask a very brief question from the audience. How many of us have solar panels at home or are using any solar cars? Do we have someone?
Can you come again with your question?
I'm interested to know who is using solar panels at homes for solar energy, or if anyone is using a solar car or a car that runs on renewable energy. Okay, so DTM Sudsarhan wants to say something, and then Toastmaster Omar also. Yes, DTM Sudsarhan.
I was just answering your question. At my ancestral home, we have installed solar panels and we use that for all our water heating needs.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Toastmaster Omar?
Yeah, I'm using electric car. Lately, when there was a strike going on, I was less worried about getting fuel with difficulty. I was relaxed.
Very good, Toastmaster Omar. We should have more electric cars in Pakistan. So when the demand would increase, then probably, I'm not sure whether the prices would go down or go up, but let's see.
Yeah, actually, they have incentive given to electric cars. If
Government has government has facilitated this, and the electric vehicle policy is there. So and the companies are now thinking in this way. But as I said, we just don't need a transition in like 15-year, 20-year period. We need a transition in less than 5 years' time if we are to survive on Earth. And the progressive countries are doing the same. And they are putting a ban on the other businesses so that the electric vehicles become a reality.
Yeah, things are moving
Great
in that
to know.
direction.
Great to know. And Toastmaster Rabia Zishan has also shared that she is also using solar panels. So great to know that some of the members in our group, they are already moving to solar. Wonderful. Okay, so going ahead from climate change to the communication sector. And I would like to share something with you regarding the theme of the day. Now that we are communicating via video calls, this is pretty normal for us. But in 1927, this was something, if I could show you. So this was something that was imagined by a person, that there would be a TV, and in the TV, he would be seeing the images. There would be a wire connected to the telephone by which the audio would be communicated. So I think that is also a reflection of how the ideas come first. So that was imagined in 1927, and now it's a reality with seamless audio-video communication. I'll keep on sharing more examples as well. And now we move on to the prepared speeches. The first prepared speech is by distinguished Toastmaster Sudsarhan Seshadri. And the speech is going to be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia Stott. Distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia, would you like to please explain the purpose of speech of distinguished Toastmaster Sudsarhan?
Sure. Let me just get the information really quick. I'm glad to be evaluating him. And let's see. He is going to be speaking from the Strategic Relationship Path, Level 3, Project 1, Make Connections Through Networking. And the purpose of this project is for the member to develop and practice a personal strategy for building connections through networking. The purpose of the speech is for this member to share some aspect of his or her experience networking. During the completion of this project, the member attended a networking event about the speech. The member will deliver a well-organized speech that includes a story or stories about the networking experience, the value of networking, or some other aspect of his or her experience networking. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia. Let's all welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sudsarhan Seshadri. The title of the speech is, Hi, my name is Sudsarhan. Hi, my name is Sudsarhan, distinguished Toastmaster Sudsarhan Seshadri.
Thank you, Madam TMOD, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Hi, my name is Sudsarhan. This was the way I went around introducing myself. This was the way I went around introducing myself when I was invited to attend a very, very fabulous and a very important event in our field. It actually started a little earlier. Cling, my phone buzzed and the email opened. Dear Mr. Sudsarhan, it's hereby confirmed that you will be attending Money 2020. And my immediate reaction was, Vegas, baby! Because the event was happening at Las Vegas and my tickets were booked, my visa was stamped, and I was all set to go. As I was planning my itinerary in Vegas, I had a gentle tap on my shoulder. I turned around and it was my colleague who looks at me and says, have you packed enough business cards? Looked at him and said, it's Vegas. You lost it? Said, have you packed enough business cards? Said, sure, I have. I've got 3 boxes, 100 cards in each box. So 300 cards I have. Said, I don't think that's enough. Get at least 1 more. So I said, okay, I'll think about it. Then he said, have you set up your meetings? I said, it's an event where there are over 10,000 people. I can walk up to people, shake hands and tell them, hi, I'm Sudsarhan. I said, no, my friend, plan it. Plan it in such a way that at least those people that you want to meet, you can. And eventually, he says, once you schedule all of that, can you also please ensure that you are attending certain specific keynotes being delivered by key industry leaders? I said, for what? It's Vegas. I'm going to be at the slot machines. I said, you're going for the event, right? Make sure you're seen and heard in certain keynotes because it's going to be of immense use to you. So with all of these thoughts in my head, as I boarded the flight from Abu Dhabi, all I was thinking is, here I am going to Las Vegas, the Sin City in itself. I want to gamble. I want to go and catch shows. I want to have a great time. And here is this guy telling me, plan your event in advance. It's a 5-day event, for God's sake. 10,000 people. I'm sure I will be able to network. After all, I'm a Toastmaster. After all, I know how to speak English. I'm sure I can connect with people. But still, very reluctantly, as soon as the pilot switched off the seatbelt sign, I took my laptop out and started setting up my meetings. I started connecting with people. And hey, presto, what do you know? Within a few seconds, there are people responding to me saying, Mr. Sudarshan, we would like to meet you for a coffee at 12:30 p.m. in this particular coffee house. And I had a diary full of meetings. I land at Vegas. These 6 days pass through. I have met over 400 people. And suddenly, I am carrying back with me almost 550 business cards, and all 500 business cards that I had carried are exhausted. In fact, toward the end of the event, I had to actually tell people, I'm sorry, this is my phone. Take a picture of my business card. That's the only way I can connect with you. The reason why I'm sharing this story with all of you is very simple. We are Toastmasters. We attend Toastmasters meeting, and thanks to the pandemic, we've now been crossing borders literally and virtually and connecting with people all over the world. But connecting with people cannot, will not, and must not ever be an activity which is done once. Because guess what? Now I will, at any point in time, call DTM Talha a friend of mine. The reason is we connected in a Toastmasters meeting, and then both of us took the effort to remain in touch. We used the plethora of mediums available to us to remain in touch, discovered mutual interests, and guess what? I'm a charter member of Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of networking. In today's day and age, if your abilities take you this far, your networking abilities will take you thus far. And that happens only if you know what, how, where, and when to network. What is networking all about? Networking ultimately is the act of reaching out and connecting to fellow like-minded individuals. And the process is as organic as it is scientific. And it is as geeky as it is not at all geeky. So on the one hand, it is literature. On the other hand, it is science. Networking begins with your ability to identify who you want to connect with and why you want to connect with them. What do you bring to the table so that if I go out and put my hand out and say, hi, I'm Sudarshan, someone should be willing to take that hand and shake it. That will come only when you have something of value to offer, something that you can connect with. Second is, once you've established that initial rapport, how do you then translate that into a meaningful conversation, which is your ability to have a significantly intelligent table topic session for 2 to 5 minutes with somebody that you're meeting for the first time. That and that alone will leave an impression. There is a gentleman on the screen who's smiling right now. His name is Latif. We met across the screen. We connected because both of us love poetry. Therefore, there was a connection built. This is evidence of how networking works. But networking is like growing a plant in your garden. Once you plant the seed, you cannot sit back and relax and say, okay, networking is happening. You have to nurture it. Very regularly, you have to take the effort to make the next connection, make the next contact. Just like you would pour a few drops of water to the seed, you would give it some fertilizer. You would ensure that there are weeds, if there are around you, take them away. You do all of that to network. Ultimately, the power of networking comes only when 1 + 1 can become 11 or 111 or anything that you choose to. Because guess what? When you reach out, there is someone reaching back to you. And that connection becomes strong only when both of us derive value out of that relationship. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my humble request to you, every opportunity that you get, plan, prepare, and execute your networking strategy. You will be richer for the experience. If nothing else, you would have gained at least a deep friendship as I have. Over to your networking journey. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan Seshadri. And I would need some guidance here if we should move to the evaluations first, or I should move to the second speaker first.
I think you should move to the evaluations. Actually, DTM Cynthia cannot see the agenda right now. So you will need to see the agenda and call the evaluators commendation and recommendation according.
Okay, I got it. Okay. So first of all, I would invite the distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia Stott for her comments on the speech of DTM Sudsarhan.
Great. And where's my timer?
I can pin them. Just a second. I can spotlight them and I can spotlight you.
Okay.
So does that work? Now can you see them?
No.
Okay, actually timer is named timer. So you can just timer Mohammed.
I have the timer now. I have the timer.
Great.
Great. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and DTM Sudsarhan. Oh my gosh, that was great. I loved how you started the speech. It was very, very vulnerable, actually. You told about what that you wanted to be in Las Vegas, and I'm going to be at the slot machines. I'm not going to be at the events. Very honest, very vulnerable, and showing your journey. I really like that you showed your journey from not really knowing what you're going to do. And boy, I relate. Different networking events I have been at. And the more people, the more you get that deer in the headlight looks. So I really love that. But then you got more and more serious and more methodical as you progressed. So you really warmed us up with your vulnerability and your share, and then you got more and more methodical as you went along. And I thought that was a wonderful way to talk about networking. I loved your gestures. You had a lot of hand gestures, and you didn't quite have the Obama hug that they call it. The finger, I can't do it because I'm holding my phone, but your fingertips, tapping your fingertips at the same time. They call that the Obama hug, and it actually gives you more confidence. But you did bring your hands together, and that was very communal in the way that you were gesturing. And it also showed that you were very sincere and confident as well. What I would do more of, let's see, well, you're a DTM, so you don't have a lot, I don't have a lot to recommend. What I would think would be to maybe to share some of your results. What happened as a result of your networking? What are those connections that you made? And how are you nurturing those relationships as you go forward? You talked a bit about your relationship with Talib and Hamid and how that became a relationship that flowered into you becoming a charter member of Quantum Leap. But what happened at the event, and maybe some lessons learned, like this worked and this didn't work. That would be really great if you gave a couple of things that worked, a couple of things that didn't work to do differently next time. And all in all, I just say you have a very gentle connecting way about you, and that probably helps in your networking as well, because you are very approachable and sincere, and it makes it easy for people to connect with you and talk with you. But I would just give us a few more lessons learned and say what happened to you on those at that networking event, and how you have connected with people and how you're going to continue that connection. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters, for highlighting the positive aspects of the speech, as well as recommending some stretch goals. We can now move on to the commendations. The first commendation is invited by Distinguished Toastmaster GK Ajay. Would you like to commend on the speech of Distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan, please?
Yes, Saira, thank you so much. Thank you, Sudarshan, GTM Sudarshan, for your speech. You started your speech with your personal story. Then I was thinking where this speech will lead to. But you very well connected the speech with the networking and how the connections are important in the real life and especially in Toastmasters. So it's not only about establishing the connections, you also shared how to nurture them. So I really like the speech, and towards the end you gave a formula like plan, prepare, and execute. So wherever we go, or when we are coming to a Toastmasters meeting, we need to plan, we need to be planned and prepared, and then execute on the stage or during the meeting. So these are the things which I like. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Saira.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Ajay. The next commendation is going to be put forward by Toastmaster Usama Ali. Toastmaster Usama, would you please commend on the speech of Distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Ma'am Saira. Congratulations, DTM Sudarshan, for giving such an amazing project on a very important topic, networking. It's a very important part of life, but if you are not doing that in the right direction, then it's useless. And the way DTM Sudarshan explained about his personal story of going to Las Vegas, and apart from that, telling that he has made a new friend through by the name of DTM Talha. It was totally tremendous and amazing. Well, I liked your point that networking in the right direction is very, very important. That was, I think, a major point to be taken from your speech. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usama. Now it's time for the recommendations, and the first recommendation will be put forward by Toastmaster Faisal Murad. Toastmaster Faisal, please go ahead. Toastmaster Faisal. Okay, we can move on to Distinguished Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. It is honestly quite difficult to come up with a recommendation with a speech like that. But I do have a couple. In fact, I just have one, and that is that today, especially today, I mean, that's not the routine with you, DTM Sudarshan. Today, I detected that there was a slight lack of movement and animation and vocal variety, which undersold the message of your speech. The words and the story were very passionate and they grabbed our attention. But perhaps slight lack of energy in the delivery robbed it of some effectiveness. That is my one and only recommendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Talha. And now it's time for Distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan Seshadri to share his views with us on the commendations, recommendations, the feedback from fellow Toastmasters. Yes, Distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan.
Thank you, Madam TMOD. First of all, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart Toastmaster Cynthia for that very honest and sincere evaluation. And I completely endorse the view that she said that I could have shared some lessons learned. And that is something which is critical. Coming to the commendation given by DTM Ajay and Usama, I think they were very generous, and I don't think I deserved as much of their commendation as I have received, but thank you very much again for having taken the time out to listen to it carefully. And I surely do endorse the plan, prepare and execute philosophy. As for DTM Talha, I completely agree with you, but it is just that It is just coming up to about 9:20 a.m. on a Saturday morning. This is not my usual waking time on a Saturday, and therefore the energy is a little lacking because I haven't yet had my first coffee. But that being said, I completely agree that there could have been a lot more animation to my speech. So thank you very much for pointing that out. Overall, this was a thoroughly enjoyable experience. Back to you, Madam TMOD.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sudarshan. Without further ado, and in the respect of time, let's quickly move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Toastmaster Karim Meghani, and his speech is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Imran Choudhry. I would request Toastmaster Imran Choudhry to please explain the purpose of Toastmaster Karim's speech. Toastmaster Imran, please.
Thank you, TM Sarah. So TM Karim Meghani is an old member. His speech today is a part of Pathway Strategic Relationship. It's level 1, part 2, and the speech title is Value of Family. The member completing this project is working to write a speech with purpose. The speech he creates must be well written and clearly focused. His goal is to meet his express purpose statement with a well-executed speech. The member will present a well-organized, well-delivered speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style of the member chosen. The speech content and style should be well thought of. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, so you can introduce Karim.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Karim Meghani. The title of his speech is Value of Family. Value of Family, Toastmaster Karim Meghani.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. You all can hear us. Yeah. 27 November. Is this the date for today? Yes? Hang on a minute. I'll come back to this. Let's start with the story. 2 days ago, 8:45, I reach my home. I'm trying to open the door. There is a key from the back side, so I'm not able to open the door. It's obviously that my wife is there. Lights are on. I can see from the bottom. I bell it. First, I knock it. It's late. I can understand. I knock it. No answer. First bell. No answer. Something wrong. After 5 minutes, just waiting. Maybe she's doing something. She's there. She's busy. Second bell after 5 minutes. No answer. Knock again. No answer. The residential bell. No answer. I start getting worried. I was about to call a security of the residential security to open the door because I'm not sure that what is happening inside. Because that's not the style of Saima, that she will not respond to me. But at the third bell, I hear a loud voice. Just wait, I'm coming. Something is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Door is open. I said, Saima, I got worried. I was about to call the resident security. I thought that maybe you collapsed or something. You are not responding to me. What time are you supposed to come at home? I told you that today I will be late. 8 p.m. What is the time now? 8:45. I am going to the bed. Toastmaster Day, dear Toastmasters and guests. This is not a regular story, but this is a regular thing that I am coming late these days at home. You know why? This happened on a Thursday. I was invited in a Zimbabwe Toastmaster Club as a guest speaker. There was technical glitches. They started late. I delivered my speech. They said that we don't have a table topic guy, so you can take that role. I took the role. I finished the meeting. I came home and this happened. On a Wednesday, I had a Karachi Toastmaster meeting with my icebreaker. You can imagine, I came late after office. Things are boiling up. And what happened, you can imagine. My wife sleeps usually at 9:30. And if I come at 8 to 9 is the time which I can spend with my wife. This is the only 1 hour or the full day, because we both are working, where we usually talk. She slept. I sat on the sofa. I was just relaxing, thinking what happened. She slept. I have nobody to talk to. At that particular time, there was a deep silence. And I just started reflecting, when your wife or family is upset on you, what is the value of family at that time? I was awake. I watched the highlights of cricket and something. Prepared my dinner probably at 9:30 after just getting back to my rhythm, and had some light dinner, slept probably at 10:30. In the morning, usually we wake up for prayers. So me and my wife wake up at like somewhere around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So that the time my wife wake up, and then, we had a conversation. And then my wife, and I asked her, Saima, I'm really sorry. What happened? You didn't answer me last. Karim, 1 hour is the only thing I'm asking you every day. You are now member of 4 Toastmaster Club around the world. 1 in the Gulf, 1 in Karachi, 1 in Madagascar. I'm asking 1 hour. Just consider this 1 hour is your Toastmaster, a family Toastmaster, where you can deliver a speech and I can deliver my speech. Just listen to me. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the story, but that is the value of family. Imagine you value the family when nobody is talking to you at home. You realize that how alone you are when people are not talking to you. You care about them, they care about you, but how much you give time to them, that's important. Around the world, Toastmaster meetings is a great achievement. 2 pathways in 1 year, Alhamdulillah. But 1 pathway at home also. Coming back to 27 November, today, my anniversary, wedding anniversary. I told Tala, DTM Tala, today I will negotiate with my wife to come to this charter meeting. It's 7 o'clock in Madagascar. I will come 7:45 because my wife is going to an ECD session. She is a volunteer teacher. I will drop her. I'll come to office. I'll deliver my speech. All done well. 27 November, after the ECD session, after this speech, we'll have a great wedding anniversary. That's the value of family. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karim. Indeed, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And now I would request Toastmaster Imran Choudhry for his comments and evaluation on the speech of Toastmaster Karim Meghani. Toastmaster Imran Choudhry, please.
Thank you, Team Sarah. Am I audible? Right. First of all, Team Karim, happy anniversary. I would like to remember this day. And since your speeches are always so personal and so energetic, I'm just every time I listen to you, it's just brings home to me that that's something that I can incorporate in my speeches. The originality of it. I think it's just it not only helps you express what you actually want to say from your heart, but also to the audience, relating to them. I think it's the best powerful tool that you have. So first off, just many applause to you regarding that. And you came up with an amazing story. As an audience, I can easily could have related to it, and I speak for everyone else as well. It was well composed and within time duration, nothing less, nothing more. And you, the start of the meeting, you anticipated the audience with something that you said you would refer back to the end of the meeting. That's, I think I have seen a lot of YouTube videos which are really successful, and they incorporate this methodology that a ticker in the beginning and then explaining that ticker at the end. It just keeps the audience captivated. And the third one is you had great gestures, although you hadn't had much room, and I could see, but despite of that, I think your hand movements were very apt. And there were no filler words. It was well prepared. It seemed well prepared, well thought of. Every word, I think, was rehearsed in advance. That is very rare to see, and I applaud you for that as well. Now, some things that you might work on. I would have loved if there was, variance in tonality. For example, in the beginning, you said no several times, and it was I mean, it would have helped that if we could imagine the first no, how did it sound, the second no, the third no, because it was obviously the message that you want to throw across was you were getting annoyed, one no after another. And again, you could have acted out not only tonality wise, but only by moving, although you didn't have much space, but moving around and taking the audience to that exact moment as a few viewers seeing the movie. And that's, I think, the only feedback that I could give, which you can work on. As a challenge, I would ask you to basically prepare for the next speech with more pauses. Keep the audience suspensed that what your next word is going to be. My time has run out. Over to you, Team Sarah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. And now the commendations. So Toastmaster Karim is very fortunate to have commendations by two distinguished Toastmasters. Let's hear first from distinguished Toastmaster Sudsarhan, please.
Thank you, Madam TMOD. I hope I am audible. Thank you. So to summarize Toastmaster Karim's speech, I would like to use the alphabet C. There were 3 C's in his speech. There was confidence, there was clarity, and there was conviction. Conviction in the fact that this is a relevant story to be shared with each and every one of us. Confidence in the manner in which the speech was delivered, and clarity of speech in the way Toastmaster Karim spoke and wove the story end to end. However, on top of all this, the icing on the cake, according to me, was the relevance of the speech for each and every one of us. He drove home the point that, Mr. Sudsarhan, you can be a member of 5 clubs, but your wife sitting in the living room is more important than all these 5 clubs put together. And that to me is a take-home message. So thank you very much for that. And a very, very happy anniversary to you. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you. And now distinguished Toastmaster Saif Ali Sheikh, please.
Thank you very much, Madam TMOD, and in particular, Toastmaster Karim Meghani. Toastmaster Karim, where you are? Okay, you are around. What I like most about your speech is the confidence. Before calling you, you was just preparing and composing the energy to explode your message. You was full of energy. You had the confidence, and the confidence showed that you are well prepared what you want to share with us. And the best thing is that always giving the conviction to your message, if you bring your family, your personal stories, and you successfully share your personal story with us, that there is a one pathway at home too. Your facial expression, I like the smile on your face. You know, the smile is always better, and it is a key to open many doors. Your message is very strong and value of family. I really like that one. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Seth. And now to the recommendations. I'll take the opportunity first to recommend to Toastmaster Karim. So Toastmaster Karim, I can see a very energetic performer in you. And when I say the performer, that means you have tick marked all of the items that are necessary for a good stage performance. So I would recommend a stretch goal for you that if you could try some kind of mimicry, the kind that Shafat does in Pakistan, or even to the extent of Moin Akhtar Saab. So try that kind of mimicry, try to enact the voice of your wife, her expressions, and I'm 100% sure that you can do that. So that's the recommendation from my side. And now I would invite distinguished Toastmaster GK Ajay to please share his recommendation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saira. First of all, happy anniversary, Karim, Meghani. So there are two recommendations from my end. The first one is you began your speech by saying that I have a story. So when you say that I have a story, the audience will get alert. Okay, this is a story. This is a story. I have to listen. But if you could try in a different way, like if you did not announce that it's a story and start telling that story, the connection will be different. So that is my thought, the first thought. Second is, what action have you taken after your wife's request to spend at least 1 hour? Did you go on time home? So that was not covered. You straight away went to saying that today is my wedding anniversary and we have a lunch or party or gathering. So what action you have taken? So that part is missing. So if you could cover these two things, your speech will move to the next level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ajay. And now we would like to hear from Toastmaster Karim Meghani. What is your feedback on all of the evaluations that you have received? Toastmaster Karim Meghani, please.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I love to come to Quantum Leap. The day they announced this club, I said that, I want to be part of it. But definitely I need to manage my time, and managing time, managing all my energy, family, everything. The feedback what I got, I'm completely agreed with it. I will take your challenge, mimicry challenge. I always want to do, but this need time. This need time and energy to work on it. Definitely, JK Ajay's recommendation also about it's my style. Every speech I say that, let's start with a story. So let me try something new next time. So thank you very much for all your recommendation. It's a very interesting style of giving feedback. Thank you very much. And I learned a lot from all of you. Thank you for all your comments. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karim Meghani. And now we move on to the fourth segment of today's event. It is the table topics segment. Let's vote for the best speaker as well while I am introducing the segment. So yes, we are about 23 minutes behind the schedule, so let's catch up with time. And please welcome Toastmaster Usama Ali for conducting the table topics segment. Toastmaster Usama Ali, please.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster Sarah Pervez, for handing over the charge to me. Hello, Toastmasters, and most welcomed guests. Now we are going to start the most important section of today's meeting. In everyday situations of our life, we are sitting in difficult meetings, whether they are professional or they are family meetings or they are friend gatherings. We face situations when we have to give an answer without even thinking. And that's where you learn, and that's where you have to know about impromptu speaking. And right now, you will be learning that skill. So I will encourage everyone to participate and if possible, volunteer for that as well. So I would be sharing my screen, and I would love if anybody would be liking to volunteer for that first. Who wants to volunteer?
I have a question, Toastmaster. Can a role player participate in the table topics?
I think so. I think so. It depends upon the table topics master. If they're leaving it open to anyone, of course, anyone can participate.
If that is the case, I can be the first speaker.
Okay. So, Mr. Ajay, your question is, if you that's written in the bottom left. If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why? If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why? The time starts now.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. I think it's a wonderful topic. People might be thinking if superhero in the sense like Batman, He-Man, Superman, those kind of things. But for me, my superhero is my dad. So if I could be any superhero, who would it be and why? So I would like to be my dad because I lost my father at an young age, and the time spent with him is very less. And the love and affection showed by him is immense. So I never forget that. And I want to share that love and affection to my son so that I can replace my father and I can be a father to my son. So that's the one thing. Why? Because like when I was in a teenage, I don't understand my father's intentions, and see, my father always used to tell, "Steady, steady, steady, steady." But I want to play cricket. I want to watch TV. So serials used to be telecasted or broadcasted during that time. Sunday, when it comes to Sunday, my father wants to stick to the books, but I wanted to stick to the television. So those are the misunderstandings which we had. And by the time I realized everything is gone, my father passed away, and I regret to this day that I should have listened to his words at least. So that's the thing which I regret today. And I want to be my father, and yeah, I want to play his role as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay, for explaining how you are idolizing your father. I hope you are fulfilling his dreams as well. What he had said to you when he was alive. So next, I would like to call Madam Toastmaster Faria Iqbal. Please come on stage.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Madam Faria, your question for today is, if you could have only one food for the rest of your life, but it wouldn't affect your health in any way, which food would you choose? The question is at the top left of the screen. If you could have only one food for the rest of your life, but it would not affect your health in any way, which food would you choose? The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topic Master. If there is only one food that I can eat for the rest of my life, what it's going to be? And the answer is very, 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 very simple. If you would have asked me this question when I was 10 years old, I would have told you the same thing. If you ask me now, my answer remains the same. And if you ask me this question again when I'm like 50 years or 60 years old, the answer would still remain the same. And the answer is potatoes. What can you not make with a potato or with a kg of potatoes? You can make the world famous French fries, dip those in tomato ketchup and eat. And even if you get fries for the rest of your life as the only dish or the only meal you can eat, what's here to regret? You will never ever regret having fries and ketchup if you have this single food in your entire life. And but with potatoes, we can cook so much more. Like you can make a filling, make some stuffed rotis or stuffed parathas, make potato sandwiches, make different curries with potatoes, and what not. Have it a spicy or a curry of potato with herbs and puris or parathas. You can make different types of fried potatoes, potato fillings, and what not. So if I can get an endless supply of any food, it's going to be potatoes. Potatoes forever. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Ms. Faria Iqbal, for letting us know your favorite food for the rest of your life. Well, if that question would have asked to me, I would never ever have said potato. I know that nature has made everything for a purpose, and potato is a good thing to eat, but you can't eat it every day for the rest of your life. If anybody who would have asked me that question, and me being a very fitness enthusiast and a diet conscious person, I would have said quinoa. It's full of carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats, and we can live on that food for the rest of our life. Now I would like to call Mudassar Ashfaq to please come on stage. And Mudassar Ashfaq, are you there?
Assalamualaikum Usama. Sorry, I won't be able to open my camera because I'm still in bed since it's a weekend and I have just risen up, so I'm not in a presentable position.
No problem, no problem. So Mudassar, Toastmaster Mudassar, your question is at the top right. The first question: if you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose? Mudassar, your question is: if you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose? The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Usama. Your question is very interesting, and it would have been more interesting if I was a little bit of a bad boy. But unfortunately, I am too much of a goody two shoes. So the assumption that I could commit a crime is something which has never crossed my mind. Like if I am parking my car, I would be very conscious that my car is not blocking anything and it's not parked. They should not be parked, even if I have to walk 5 to 10 minutes to get to and from my car. So the assumption of committing a crime is something that has not crossed my mind that much. I'm too much of a goody two shoes. And I'm an introvert and I like it. And being an introvert and a deep nerd, you realize and you analyze each and everything, how people work, how people do things. And the concept of crime is something that is too much of a hassle for me, to be very honest, and just not appealing enough to even think about that. What kind of crime could I do? It might seem that I am too much of a bored as well, but that's who I am, and that I'm proud of. Who does not like to have. That's all from my side. Thank you, Toastmasters Usama.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mudassir, for explaining about your situation in a very good way. Now, I would like to call Toastmaster Jahazeb to please join us. Toastmaster Jahazeb, are you there?
Actually, Toastmaster Usama, we need to end because we are out of time. Oh.
Toastmaster Talha, just one last topic and we will wind up after that.
Okay.
Toastmaster Jahazeb, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, Toastmaster Jahazeb, your question for today is, if you could speak any language fluently, but never speak your native tongue again, what language would you choose? The question is written at the bottom right. If you could speak any language fluently, but never speak your native tongue again, what language would you choose? The stage is yours.
Right, thank you so much. I'm not sure about if I understood the question correctly, but I am a keen learner of different languages. I have been trying to be fluent in French. I've been trying to be fluent in German, but there are certain challenges which prevent me in doing so, because there are several institutes which are, which offer very good courses in those, but due to my obligation with my job, I am unable to join that, because it is about balancing between the profession and the family life and having the Toastmasters memberships, then committing to another institute, committing some other time for learning the new languages. It is something which is a big challenge for me, but I am a very keen learner of different languages, and I'm trying to learn different languages through different apps. When commuting back or to the office, I try to use apps such as Duolingo. It is a very good app where you can learn different languages, and I've reached to a certain level where I can understand basic French and I can communicate in French on a basic level. So this is something which I wanted to share with you. So with that, I hand over the charge back to the table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jahazeb, for explaining about your lifelong learning. And that's very important if you want to be one step ahead of others in life. There is a famous quotation, I don't know, that a person learns from his womb of a mother till when he goes in grave. A person learns from his or her womb of a mother till he goes in grave. And if you follow that rule, you can do wonders in life. So we are now concluding our table topics session. It was a great session, and we learned about the famous food, the superhero, the one crime, and about different languages. Now I would be heading the charge to the Toastmaster of the day, Madam Saira Pervez. Madam Saira, are you there?
Yes, I'm back. Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster Usama, for the wonderful session. And now in the wake of time, we have decided to skip the general evaluation session. Is that correct?
Sir, can we have of course, it's the president's decision, but sir, can we have a quick one? Or we should skip it?
We
you're
are
not
already
audible.
exceeding the 8 minutes from the time. So conclusion is better.
Okay.
Okay, so let's first vote for the best lead evaluator.
You can continue and hand over the charge to the president.
Sure.
In the meantime, people can poll.
Sure, perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, this was a wonderful meeting, and I would like to conclude it on a note that conclude my part on this note that we just discussed in TM Erum Rizvi's session that there's some planning going on by NASA and SpaceX to plan the trip to Mars. And on my background, you can see the poster of a 1938 movie. And it was during that time that it was envisioned that such a trip would be made. So please, no bounds. Think out of the box, and I wish you best of luck till we meet again. I would like to hand over the meeting to the president, distinguished Toastmaster Saif Ali Sheikh. Distinguished Toastmaster Saif, please.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Madam Saira. Fellow Toastmaster, did you enjoy the meeting today? Of course, yes, because there was an installation ceremony. Of course, yes, there was an installation ceremony. There was a keynote speech, Geek of the Week, and 2 speakers, Toastmaster Sudsarhan and Toastmaster Karim, and the table topic, the full with the energy, full with enthusiasm, and full with the thoughts. Full with the thoughts. Fellow Toastmaster. Hello, something wrong? Okay, no problem. Okay, fellow Toastmasters, give a big round of applause to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you, Toastmaster Saira. Thank you very much. We are exceeding the time. Now it's 11:11, and we are exceeding. I'm sorry, I take the responsibility that we exceed the time. And inshallah, in the next meeting, we'll make sure that we conclude our meeting on time. Start on time and conclude on time. Due to the shortage of the time now, we already exceeded. So by this, yes, is there is a vote counter? Report is ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is ready.
Yes, please make the announcement.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to fix the best big 3 poll, which is giving me some trouble. But okay, best big 3 for today are Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Saira, and our table topics master, Toastmaster Usama, and our journal evaluator, Toastmaster Saad. So please quickly, everyone, just send me a personal message in the Zoom chat, and meanwhile, I'll announce the rest of the polls. So first of all, Best Speaker award today was a tie, and as a vote counter, I'm supposed to break the tie, but I find myself unable to break the tie. So I will respectfully submit that both of these people should be declared winner. Best Evaluator by a narrow margin goes to, of course, DTM Cynthia Stott. Congratulations. Best Table Topic Speaker goes on to someone who loves French fries and ketchup, Toastmaster Faria Iqbal. And
give the best.
Yeah, best big three. Yeah, best big three goes to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saira Parvez.
Fellow Toastmaster, give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Sudarshan, Toastmaster Karim, Toastmaster Cynthia, Toastmaster Faria, Toastmaster Saira. All are we all are the winner, but they make it out, the distinguish among the crowd. Big round of applause. And by this, I declare this meeting, official meeting is closed, but we are here. We can talk and we